I just gotta get the link. I forget how to
Of
do that,
course.
so give me a second.
Do I have to turn on my camera?
You don't have to. It's up to you.
Oh. Okay, well, when it is time, I'm gonna turn it on. I think I snapped the wire on my web, so she might not work. I promise I'm not lying like I do in my classes. I always, like when we go into breakout rooms, I always tell them my mic's broken. So I don't have to talk.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me plug in my computer. Oh my god, I just almost died.
Oh, same. Let me see if it came back or not.
Oh.
Oh my god, I just almost died. Oh my god.
Sorry, I was watching the stream again. I can't tell if it's gonna like cut out or not. I can't tell if it's gonna stay.
There's like this thing in my room that I built today, but I'm so scared it's gonna fall on me.
What is it?
It's like a okay, it's like a bed frame, but I put it like it broke, so I put it sideways and I'm making like a dresser out of it. Which is, it doesn't make any sense if you like to think about it, but like it's so heavy and I know I'm scared it's gonna fall on me.
I believe in you. If you need to, screw it to the wall.
Oh, that's smart.
There's like little videos of like how you need to like drill your furniture to the wall so it doesn't fall on like children and shit.
Oh my god, that's smart.
Jeez.
Wow, big brain.
I'm an IKEA worker. Just kidding. I wish. I have never went to an IKEA before. It's so much fun. It's like a little maze of like things that you can buy, and you walk through an entire. They found him at the IKEA near me, and then they took him away because he was illegal.
Fixed it. I guess we'll find out.
Okay.
I think it's better now that I switched my internet. I just was on the wrong internet and didn't realize it until just now. So, hey. Okay, so I believe everything is working now. So, we will begin with the opening statements, of course. Whichever one of you wants to go first can, and then the person that goes first for the opening statements will go last for the closing statements. So I'll let you guys decide if you want to go first for the opening statements or not. If you guys can't decide,
then I'll either. I prefer Alex going off first because, I don't know. I prefer go first, yeah. Okay. If you want. Yes. Okay. So I do have a presentation. I need y'all to let me know if it works or not because I'm not really sure. I guess let me know if it works. I'm changing the window right now.
I think it's working.
Because it's a weird screen. My mouse is also very much broken, so I have to click everything 3 times.
It's working, so I think, I don't know, I see something.
Do you see do you see it? Or is it like a white screen?
It's a white screen.
I might change, okay. I'm gonna change the whole screen. Alright, lit. Cool.
Okay,
do you all see it now?
Yep, you're good.
No. Do you see a glittery finale? I can't see.
You have to click join stream, but yeah, it's there.
Okay. So I know that this is going to be a lot longer than the 3 to 4 minutes dedicated, but I let the host know that I don't really have much of a closing statement, so I'm going to shift the time there. If you want to cut me off at any time, host, feel free to, because I know it might be long, and I'm going to try to wrap my hardest through this. Jury members, if you're watching, or just people that are interested in the slides, I'm going to be posting these in the house chat when I'm done. But anyways, before I start, let's get to something a little bit more important than org talk, in my opinion, and it is voting. I hope that you are all registered because this is a very important thing that you need to be doing. It's a responsibility that you need to take, and we need to change the narrative in fucking America. And if this is coming from a Canadian, you know it's important. So, I have this little link here. I'm going to be putting it in the Life is Strange House chat. And with that being said, oh, that's a monkey. Okay, wait, this isn't working at all. This is my schoolwork. I'm gonna be copying and pasting this. And boom. Get yourself informed. So, let's start. Before I actually do go and recap my own game, I wanted to thank the house guests and hosts for everything that they did. I know that this is a long process. Hosting an org isn't the easiest, and it takes a lot of commitment, and so does playing it. So I appreciated all of our conversations, and I formed a lot of positive memories in this game, and I'm really happy to say that I'm leaving with new friends. Nothing is negative in this game on a personal level. Of course, there might have been some beef and some little rivalries game-wise, but in the end, I love you all. And I guess that's all I want to say for the disclaimer, and let's get started. I put special gifts for every single house guest, so once it gets to your slide, I hope that you'll enjoy. Alright, so we're going to talk about pre-jury. I'm doing this on a week-to-week basis. There's a legend down here, so it has my social, strategic, and competition-wise type game moves. So at the beginning, I did talk to everyone. I wanted to make sure that I made friends and was close to people on a personal level, and also gained some knowledge on their activity. I won POV, didn't really use it to get close to Alan. And then I joined a couple alliances. As you see here, I have Redacted. You're going to see Redacted a couple times in this PowerPoint. I think if it helps conclude or draw the lines to who I'm talking about, it's the person that got disqualified. And I don't want to put their name just out of respect for the people that they have harmed. So I hope everybody gets who this is. Next up. So I got a bunch of information on these alliances. And this is me explaining the whole Laney week vote. Because I had all these different alliances backed up in my mind. And I was like, what the heck is going on? So from this, I drew a conclusion that although I did play a very social game at the beginning and made a lot of friends, there were a lot of alliances going on with these two main characters, Laney and Jared, and that there is a possible majority house being played, and I don't know how I felt about it. So they were playing on my side because I was in one of these alliances as stated before, but they were playing the majority of the house, and I was very wary of that. So I made the iconic alliance, Bad Bitches. This is Lucky, Lonnie, Alex, and Nick Jr. A little shout out to them. Although my name's in there, I don't really know why I put my name in there. But we kind of popped off. And when I refer to this alliance, I either say Bad Bitches or I refer to it to Final Four. Because this is what my plan was. So I let Lonnie know the week that Laney was going for HOH that Lonnie was a target. And this kind of solidified the alliance. So the week of Battle on the Block, Laney put up Alan and... Yes, Alan and Redacted. Or that's what Lonnie put up, and Laney put up Andrew and Lockie. And we need to protect Lockie. So we told Laney, the alliance, we were telling Laney that it's a really good plan to get rid of Alan, when really our goal is to save Lockie. We kind of moved our Final Four alliance to safety with this communication, and also we got 2 birds, 1 stone, as Alan was sent home. I won my HOH, I nom Mario and Nathan, and I started a campaign with Lonnie to backdoor Nathan. I lied about this a lot in the game, but it was for protection. I didn't want to make myself a threat. But I sent no direct messages. I made sure that my face was clear in this because I didn't want it to be traced back to me, and I didn't want to become a target. Alright, so I sent Mario home, and then he blocked Alan's buyback. With this, I adopted him as a number on my side, because I did regret having Mario evicted. I felt like the house was targeting or putting a lot of pressure on me to get Mario out from almost every side, and I was kind of thinking of doing the game to satisfy the house and leave the threat level low. But, as we see, I regret it, and I picked him up as a number. I found out that Jared had the Depop, and this is the week that we had the plan to flush it. I told Andrew to nominate Jared and Laney as they were HOH, and he was like, yup, and then we did it. This was when our alliance got spilled, if y'all remember this. I did some damage control, and I acted as though I found out about the noms just now, and that I had no plans on backdooring Nathan. This was very hectic in the voice call. Voices were raised, false accusations were made, and it really helped clear my game with some damage control. Now we're going to get on to people going home. So this is Laney week. I guess my final alliance voted out Lainey because we found out that she had all these different alliances that I mentioned before, and I was a little bit scared of this majority and how she was playing the house and wasn't really telling me or being transparent about the different alliances that she had. So because of that, I did side on the other side, and with this, I guess we made a new majority of the house. So I won HOH, and I got info of Nick G and Indigo, both kind of shading my name. And with this, I did decide that it would be really easy to nom both of them. I also have this side info here. I'm skipping a lot of points in here just because I'm going to post it, and if y'all want to read it and add your own questions, do so. I feel like I'm in class right now, and reading PowerPoints word for word isn't the best. But anyways, I got both info from them, and I nommed them. This was really good for damage control with Jared, because these people were working very closely with Jared, and I needed to have a reason to nom his numbers and not tell him directly that I was nomming these numbers. So I had a full sweep week this week, and I got evicted, or I guess they walked, but that was the target, and the votes were leaning that way. I won HOH again, nom Nick G and Mario, and I've already nommed both of them before, so again, damage control. I talked to Mario before this, and he agreed to be a pawn. This happened almost every single week where I nommed him. And again, I had my sweep week. Not much to say here. Nick G evicted. I hope you enjoy the GIF. I put here because you're a little business major, Mr. Accountant. Alright, I found out more info. Jared was saying that Mo was throwing my name this week, and it was a little bit scary. Mo was correct. I think we all came to this conclusion eventually, but this week, I was still a little bit skeptical. So after that, I did a few other things, and I found out about this backdoor plan and how there was an alliance that I was not a part of. So, at this point, I got rid of Jared's numbers, and the numbers for voting me out was a little bit more hard to do. And also, my social tie with Lockie got him to win the POV and keep me safe. So this was we had no backdoor here because I had this social connection. I voted them out because they were throwing my name around. That's about it. I put Donut Shop and then Drag Queen. Miss Trisha. Trisha, not Trisha Paytas. Trixie Mattel. Okay, week 10. Lonnie was HOH, and this is a win for our alliance. We put Jared and Andrew up, and they were both conspiring my backdoor. I had chat logs sent from both sides of the noms about them throwing me under the bus. So I won POV, we kept the noms the same, and we got Jared out. Or not Jared out, we got Andrew out. I didn't want Andrew to go. I said here that I voted out Jared, and I was very honest and transparent this week about it. I wanted to stay loyal with Andrew just because before this week, Andrew was extremely loyal with me, and we played the game together. So I was a little bit upset to see this go. It wasn't something that I wanted to happen, so I did get a little bit suspicious of the alliance, the final four bad bitches, which is Lonnie, Nick Jr., and Lockie. I want HOH. Jared and Mario were nommed, and this is the week where I found out that they were both involved in my backdoor and didn't tell me. Nick Jr. was POV, and he didn't use POV on anyone. So it was also another social tie that I had, because he could have easily switched up the game and got Jared off the block. So I got Jared out. He was probably one of the only compies left that was outside of the alliance, and Captain wasn't really involved in any bad beef, so I kept that relationship okay, and Jared was evicted, so I put Kesha, his music, and then, Among Us. Alright, so this is where it all goes downhill. I was nominated. I'm going to try to wrap this up as quick as possible because I see that I'm almost 10 minutes in. But I lost all of my alliances, and I can say with pride that I was the underdog at this point of the game. At this point, literally nobody trusted me except for Lockie, who was on the block beside me, and my entire alliance betrayed me. Everybody wanted me out. No one wanted me in Final 2. So I spent my ass doing this fucking stupid unicorn game, and I won POV, got myself off, voted captain, and stayed loyal with Lockie until the very end. So, True Jackson, and then good price, good bargain as well. This is the full sweep week where I got Lonnie out, and this is just me kind of reciprocating the fact that she nommed me last week. I knew that she wasn't playing on my side, and I needed to get her out. She was a really good comp threat, really good social threat. I knew that she could have beat me in the finale very well. Week 14, POV happened when I got nommed, and I won by half a point, which is quite a shocking moment for me. I voted out Captain. I feel like he was a bigger comp threat, and To be honest, although I love Captain very much on a personal level, towards this end of the game, I could tell that Captain was not looking towards keeping me. I mean, I can basically say the same for everybody else. No one wanted to keep me, but I don't know. I just feel like Captain would have had a better chance winning comps in the HOH final parts. This is the last slide I have here. I won my HOH at the finale, and I got rid of Nick Jr. And Nick Jr., very sorry, but I knew that you would have won if you were beside me in the finale. 100%. You had such a good social game, such a good comp game. I'm hyping you up, but it's just true. So I guess that's the end of my intro. I gave you my little story from week 1 to 15, my little thought process. I'll be sending everything in the house chat, and I really hope that if any of the jury has any questions on anything that I did, game or personal-wise towards them, that you come up with me now. Thank you very much.
Alright, thanks Alex. Mario, you have the floor now.
Okay, well, hello everyone, jury, and all the people that is watching that wasn't part of the game. Well, I'm gonna say the same as Alex. Go vote. I know, I am Mexican. I am from Mexico, like, literally the north side of the United States and the south part of the United States are telling you to go to vote and change the fucking America, because if you vote for the person who like is better for United States, it can change all the fucking continent and all the fucking world. Okay, well, I didn't prepare anything. I'm sorry, I'm such a flop. But well, I'm gonna separate it in weeks as I remember, like Alex did. I'm sorry, I copied you. But hey, here I am. Okay, week 1, I was nominated aside from one of the medicines. I don't remember what medicine S and medicine M. Lainey told me that, and I was like, "Girl, why? I thought you were my friend. Like, she is my friend." And the target this week was Penino. He's actually the winner of the season. Well, talking about my alliances, I didn't make that much. I was in 6 alliances. The alliance I was so loyal to was my first alliance with Nick Jr. and Lani. We made that alliance, I think, day 2, day 3, after I talked with Nick Jr. because I put Itzy in my intro video, so we made a bond. I know, sorry Alex, I was a number on your side, but if I would have won part 3 of the POV, I'm sorry, but I would have evicted you, because you were such a big threat on the game. You are such a fucking compass, and you are a king. And, well, yes, I was always loyal to them, to Lani and Nick Jr. Coming here, I didn't had that much expectations of me, because I thought I was gonna be evicted week 1 and pre-jury, and I actually did got evicted pre-jury, but I came back the same day after Alan offered me $10. So I think that was a good move. I of course lied to people about in the Lainey vote, because I heard that Lainey wanted me out since the very early game, and I think getting her out was a big move for me. Well, not that big, but it was a good move for me. Really, losing all competitions wasn't a strategy, because I really wanted to win, I think, but I am a flop here, so I didn't win anything. I'm sorry I didn't got prepared at all, and I love everything that's everything I have to say. Sorry, I love you all.
Alright, thanks. So we're gonna add our first juror for their questioning as soon as they get on call.
Oh my god, hello.
Okay.
Hello.
We're having a hard time.
Hi, Nick G. You can begin your questioning or whatever, whenever you please.
Okay. Well, first of all, congratulations to both you, Alex and you, Mario. You guys both did great.
Thank you.
I love to do. Remember that I answered whenever I asked the first question during Q&As. I love kind of warning both the final two about like what the jury's kind of worried about. So I'll kind of do that first, and then I'll go into my questions. So Alex, it's no denying you dominated this game. I have two things though, and one of them will be related to my question. The first one it's not is the jury's not a big fan of you calling yourself an underdog because they feel like you steamrolled most of the game. So I'm sure it'll come up later on in someone else's question, but that's not that's not my battle. I don't really care much about that.
Mhm.
But the second one was the jury feels like you didn't need all your comp wins, and we feel like you could have done a lot more with your comp wins to boost yourself in the game, to not make yourself a comp threat like you did.
Mhm.
Now, I'm just quickly move on to Mario, and I'll come back to you. And then Mario, the jury feel like you're a very likable person, but a lot of the jury's worried that your gameplay doesn't match up to Alex's. So tonight, I hope you can try and outmatch Alex, or at least match Alex in the gameplay setting, so that you can win over by your likability. You know.
Yes.
So, Alex, my main question to you is: a lot of this game, I feel like people, and myself included in the jury, feel your gameplay was semi-boring. With like, you didn't really add much to your story, and you kind of lacked a story. And I feel like a lot of the jury is looking for who has a story. And Mario sitting next to you, who got evicted, and then came back, and then played pretty well, honestly. And then we look at you, and you kind of just won comps and stuck with your majority, and then got turned on because you're a comp threat. So my question to you is, how would your comp wins form a story around your game, and help you, and I guess help you in the game as well? I'll go into that as well. I'll ask that as well.
Of course. So that's a really good question. I feel like my comp wins may have been a semi-regret of mine, at least at the beginning, because you did mention that I didn't need all of them, and I do agree. I feel like this was poor management on my end when it came to managing my threat level, and by winning these comps, I really didn't really need to. I could have gave the driver's seat to someone else, but I'm not really sure. I feel like it was just at the beginning I wasn't really thinking too strategically. I won like a comp or two maybe to get some social ties, get some information, because usually people do that, especially when people throw people under the bus when I win right away. But I feel like at some point, my comp wins did become a little bit too obvious. Like, it was very obvious, maybe pre-jury to mid-jury, that I was just storming through it. So I really took a second to step back and think, and I was like, why am I winning all these? Like, why am I going for all these comp wins? And then I realized that, oh shit, it might just be a little bit too late for me to tone it down. Because people know I'm good at comps. I think a lot of people knew, at least more towards the end, like who I was protecting with my comp wins. And I was just like, I'm becoming a very big threat. And I know that one of the only ways to make sure that I am safe this week is to win comps. And to get rid of people who I felt were least loyal to me. So, it's kind of like a biggest weakness turned into more of my saving ground when it comes to comp wins, because I did have a very strong social game at the beginning, but then it led more towards comp dominance, especially when my alliance betrayed me. Does that answer the question, or is there another part that
No,
can...
perfectly. Oh, I guess maybe how it kind of infused into your story. But I guess you kind of answered that as well. If you want to like go into more into that, but I mean, it's okay if you don't really have.
I
much on that.
could. So storyline, I started throwing not throwing, but just not winning any of the very, very early comps. Sure, I won a POV or two, but like I said in that one slide at the beginning, that I was really using it to get a bit closer social-wise to the HOH, especially on POV weeks that didn't matter too much because it would be 2 inactives on the block, and like honestly saving them would just be, it just wouldn't really be something considered because they would be going home the week after. So it turned to that, my comp wins were just like a little bit lower. And then it turned to the point where Laney Week happened. I like to divide my little like game into 3 different sections. So like pre-jury, Laney Week, and then betrayal, right? So when Laney Week happened, it was kind of choosing what side I wanted to play on. Obviously, I didn't do this as blatant because I did pin my vote on people and I did lie about my vote because I wanted to lower my threat level, and this was all game. But I felt like at that point I needed to start ramping up my wins to make sure that I was loyal to my alliance, save them, especially Locky, because I don't think Locky was trying too hard, but I wanted him as a number, and it was honestly just fun having him in the game and challenging myself to win comps to save him. But I think my comp wins played a game towards me trying to make sure that I had my little squad safe, and then towards betrayal, it literally was saving my own ass. It used to be to save others and make sure people sat pretty, but now towards the end, when everyone betrayed me, it developed more into a story of trying to claw my way to the finale. And that again, I mean, I know you didn't want too much of a verification on the underdog thing, but I think that's why I think I can call myself an underdog towards at least the late part. I don't claim that mid-jury, early pre-jury. It's just like towards those last finaling weeks where no one was with me. I hope that clarified things.
Yeah, I don't have a crazy problem with the underdog thing, but like just for your sake, the jury, a lot of people in the jury have a problem with it for whatever reason.
Sounds good.
But yeah, thank you for answering my question. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Of course. And then Mario.
Hello.
I want to also tell you, I think, I'm not sure if you consider just like doubt yourself a little bit at the start of this like Q&A, but I want you to know straight up, like first question, that you can win this. Like the votes are very split, and if it's not very split, you actually are the front runner right now. So I think you need to know that going into these questions.
Okay.
But for my question is, a lot of people like you because of your personality, but I want to know where your strategic game came into play, like where you kind of carried the crew, if you would, like,
Yes. Okay. Can you repeat the question, please? I didn't understand.
You're good.
I didn't hear.
I just want to know, like, in your strategic game, like, where a moment was where you felt like you were carrying or being, like, beneficial to, like, your group with, like, your majority, basically. Like, a time, like, if you, like, let's say you pawning, like, volunteering to be a pawn, if that's where you were going, like, strategically, then I kind of want to hear about it,
Okay. My strategy coming into this game, I really didn't have a specific strategy. Of course, I didn't want to win the first HOHs, nor the first POBs, and I didn't win anything, just a battle attack in the part 1 HOH. And I really think I helped with my group, like, by being a pawn. At one point of the game, Alex made an alliance with me and Lani called the Underdogs. We were there, but we didn't talk that much, and of course, like Alex said, I was a number on his side, but at the same time, I think I wasn't, because if it was for me, I would have get him out of the game. Like, fuck, I don't know how to speak in English right now. sorry. Like, if it was for me, I would have voted him out of the game. Like, if he was an because he was for me the biggest competition threat, and well, I think I was like with my group when Delaney vote. I wanted Lainey out since I have said before. I heard that she wanted me out in the game, and I didn't like that. I also wanted Jared out, but he came to me and he wanted like, oh, so we're gonna make an alliance. So I used that as my favor to like get safe another week, and then like the plan was backdooring Alex. So getting Alex out, then getting Jared and Captain out, and then getting me, well, Lani, Nick Jr., and me to the final three. I think that didn't happen. And well, I think being a pawn really helped me in my game, since I think you guys think I'm very likable. I don't know how to explain myself, and the hard thing is that I cannot speak in Spanish. So okay, because as I said, being a pawn was not a part of the social game, but I think it helped me a lot, and that's all I have to say. I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question.
Yeah, you did great. Don't worry about it. It's okay. That's just all I want to know. I want to know if it was like part of your like game being a pawn.
Okay.
So you answered that well, so I appreciate it. And good luck to both of you.
Thank you, Nick.
Keep in mind the things that the jury are going to be looking at
Yes.
to disprove. And that's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Bye.
King.
Alright, so we will now be moving on to the next juror. If I can figure out how to use my keyboard. Okay.
Jared, oh god.
I'm scared. What the heck?
Oh my god. Shivers inside.
Good morning.
I think.
Hello, ladies.
Hey.
How are y'all doing?
Very good. Very anxious.
Jacob, how much time do I have?
As long as you don't go over like 10 minutes, that should be fine.
Cool. I'll try not to. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do, just because I think it would be very fun, from both of you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bitter do you think that I am?
How what?
How bitter do you think I am as a juror?
Hearing your eviction speech and also knowing that you were blindsided, I would say 7 or 8.
I would say maybe 6 or 5.
6 or 5, 7 or 8. Okay, interesting. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you the answer until the end because I think that would spoil some of the fun. But I do want to start by saying congratulations to both of you. And I want to reiterate a little bit of what Nick G just said, which is that I think that both of you played really, really great games, and I think that they were like 2 really good games, like in opposite directions, if that makes sense. Like
Yes.
Alex played a very like on the front lines, like Alex was always making it to the end. Like if you were like looking at this season at any point, it was like, yeah, Alex is the person to beat. Alex is the person who will be in the final 2. And if you take a step back and you look at Mario, win your game, if you look at that after you came back, it was like Mario is always making it to the end. Mario, like, will be at finals. So, like, this is the perfect predictable ending to a very predictable season. And so I do want to say, like, to both of you, like, congratulations on overcoming that. Because I think when the status quo is that obvious, and my game read, I will be the first to say it, I'm gunning for clown of the season. My game read was so bad, like at every point, and I never knew what was truly happening. But even I could see that you two were the front runners and that you two were the two that would always be here. And I think that that's a testament to both of your games. I think it's incredible and impressive that both of you made it here, despite the fact that it seemed so clear that you two would be sitting here. I'm the person or one of the people, Alex, that Nick G may have warned you about the word underdog. I think that that is a word that you should be very careful of saying, because I think that when I think underdog in this game, I think not of the person who won 12 comps, which is not using to discredit you, but I think you sort of have to pick a struggle. And I think that the person next to you has a much more compelling underdog story than you have. And so I don't think that people realizing that you're a threat and that you're the front runner at the end of the game, I don't think that that necessarily makes you an underdog, especially when you have won, what is it, like 6 times as many comps as everyone left in the game than you at that point. So, like, I'm not trying to discredit your game with that. I'm just trying to say that, like, underdog is not the right word. And you said it once and we all threw up, and then you keep saying it and we're like, why is he still saying it? So, I would try to let that word go, like completely forget it, like forget that it's even a word. It's not anything. Yeah. So I'm talking a lot. I promise I actually have questions. One thing that I want Alex in particular to think about, this is going to be sort of like my final question that I wrap around to, but I want to give you some time to think about it because it's a little complicated, I would say, is that I would love it if you could tell me, like, when I say story, I'm going to say tell me your story in this game, because to me, I just see someone who was on top of the game just about the whole time, and just picked off the bottom every time, which I think is, that's a good strategic game. And again, I'm not trying to discredit that, but what I see in that game is not something that makes me thrilled to vote for a winner. So I want to know, like, from your perspective, what your story is that sort of makes you rootable and that makes people... make me want you to win. And I want you to think about that because it's a bit complicated. So I'm going to give you, I'm going to have some other fun, filler questions until then. So now, I have a question for both of you. My philosophy in this game is that we all play any game that we play. We infuse our own personalities into it. And so I want to know from both of you one strength and one weakness of your personality that you think, became apparent through your game.
Who's gonna start?
Either one of you.
Well, may I start?
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Well, I think one strength of my personality is that I think I very sociable, very likable, very friendly, but the friendly guy, and I am in real life like that. Of course, I am not that guy every day. I also have my anger side, and in my normal daily life, I obviously have with a lot of bad words and like that. And I think one of the what was it word?
Just a positive and a negative of your personality.
The positive is a very likable person and that, and the negative will be that maybe I really wasn't in the game that much. My personality, I was always right now I'm worried about school. I was always worried about school, my relationship with my boyfriend, and blah blah blah. And I think worrying too much was not a good thing. Because I was worrying about things outside of the game, and that didn't help me to put a focus on the game.
Period. Well, we've all been there. No, that's the perfect answer. Yeah. Thank you. Alex, what have you got for me?
Hello. Okay. So, I think that one of my strengths, much like Mario's, is my sociability. Don't know if that's a word, but I'm very sociable. I feel like a very large personality trait of mine is being friendly and very open-minded, and I think I see this in the game where I was very open to start a conversation with everyone in the game from day one. Obviously, this was strategic in a way because I wanted to pick up the vibes and the activity levels of my fellow house guests, see if they wanted to work with me, etc. But to be honest, in general, one of the biggest reasons why I am in this community is for friendships and memories, etc. So, you know, part game, part not, and I feel like that was a really perfect balance of my personality trait incorporated into my game. And I feel like this really had a good impact on my game because there were many times, and I say many, where I could have been sent packing, my ass could have been out, but because of my social relationships, I had that safety net and I had that security. So, for example, there was your HOH week where there was the backdoor plan. Well, first of all, I knew about the backdoor plan, and then also on top of that, I had Lockie win POV, and Lockie didn't use the POV. So if he had not done that, I would have been sent packing, but I think that because of my sociability and the fact that I did connect with Lockie on a game and personal level, it really had that safety net and kept me in the game. And as for a weakness, I think that one of my biggest weaknesses would have to be loyalty. And I know that it sounds kind of like a bullshit answer because it is a positive trait. But to clarify, because I have to do a lot of clarifying with my words because I'm really bad at it and I'm caffeinated and I'm anxious. But when I call myself loyal, I'm really just talking about my loyalty to some of you. This loyalty was more of like a ride or die type of energy where I was genuinely planning on bringing people to the end. And there were a lot of times where I prioritized my alliances, say bad bitches. I really prioritized their moves regardless of whether or not they benefited my own game. This was obviously a mistake. This is definitely something that was a weakness in my game, but it was the loyalty that I had in my alliance that made me do certain things. So, for example, Jared versus Andrew week, I think we all know who I voted for. I did vote for you to go. And this is because Andrew did have a better game with me. We were just more on page. He showed more loyalty in the past. Like, it made more sense for you to go in my personal game. But the bad bitches wanted Andrew out. And I could have said something. I could have really campaigned. But my loyalty with the bad bitches kind of kept me quiet. And I was just like, you know what? They're looking for me anyways. I was a little bit suspicious of it, of this, but I didn't want to betray them. I didn't want to go against them. And that's when they betrayed me last second. And I did see this coming, but then again, my loyalty made me not want to be the first one to throw a stone. I didn't want to be the first one to betray them because I knew that it would just not look good on me. It wouldn't look good for anyone. And I just wanted my loyalty to pull through in this game and get me that Final Four with them. So that brings me on to things that could have changed. Obviously, when you went home this week, I could have made deals with you on the week that you did go. As you did give me the handouts of safety and the fact that you were targeting Lonnie and Nick Jr., but the way that you said that you were targeting them had me really hesitant because, like I said, I have this loyalty to this one alliance. And I think that it did block me off from making a couple game decisions, as I did want to protect them and make them to Final Four. And this is why I'm saying that my loyalty is a weakness. But with that, having you evicted and getting betrayed isn't something that I regret necessarily, because I'm still here in the finale, and it really gave me an opportunity to prove my efforts and my perseverance towards the finale. And it really showed that I wasn't really piggybacked here. I earned this spot on my own, and although my loyalty did become a weakness, I had to persevere through it.
Okay, thank you. And that brings me to one other quick question that I have just for you. This is when a little bit of my bitterness will come out, and it has been honed off because I will say now that we're a little bit in, that y'all pretty much sent the people that I was mostly bitter at out right after me. So it was a pretty good boot order as far as the Jared VR manifestation went. So thank you guys for that. And that's all I'm going to say about that, except the captain was robbed. And so my next question for you, Alex, is you always knew that Lockie wasn't going to keep me. I was originally going to phrase that as a question, but I'm tired of pretending to be dumb because that was a lot of my strategy as it had to be. So what was the purpose of you wasting so much of my time and energy on the way out?
I did not want to leak anything to you. I felt really bad doing this, and I apologize if any of it was taken personally, but I feel like I was just too knee deep into this where I could just tell you halfway through, hey, it's not gonna happen. I'm on this side of the game, and this, that, because you still had that eviction speech. You still had a couple hours left in the game. I feel like doing that would have been a good move on keeping a good status quo with you and being honest with you, which is something that I really wanted to do. And I feel like your eviction was one of the saddest ones for my own game because I just felt so guilty over it. But game-wise, I feel like it would have been too threatening to have told you in the moment because I wasn't really sure what you were going to spill. And there were a lot of players in the game that obviously were not part of this Bad Bitches Alliance and didn't have too much of a say into it. Like Captain or Mario, they weren't in that, and they could have made decisions based off what you said, and it could have raised my threat level even more. And on top of that, like I said, with my weakness, loyalty, I didn't want to leak anything about this Final Four Alliance because I was so adamant on them being the Final Four with me. Does that answer the question?
Yes, it does. I will say that I think that this game is sort of always a juggle of balancing strategic moves within the game and managing a jury that I think is very complicated, and it's part of the fun of these games. So that's just a little thought that I have on that. And finally, my last question before we circle back around, which maybe, Alex, if you want to type your story thing, maybe later because I'm aware of my time. But my last question is that I want each of you to list everyone on the jury that you think you could beat sitting next to at the end.
I could go first.
Okay.
So I think that this is very hard to answer, as the jury members are not here, and there was a lot of space, depending on when they went home, there's a lot of space in between their eviction and now that could have definitely changed this, as I had a lot more time to prove my game, I had a lot more time to make moves, and I guess that's what brought me here. But based on what I saw when they were still in the house, I do have to say that one person I could beat would probably be Nick G. I don't say this to be mean, I don't say this to be spiteful, but there wasn't much of a competition win to be afraid of. There wasn't much of a threat there. And also, I think one of the things that really had me want Nick G out that week was the paranoid energy. Nick G was often paranoid of things and was going around the house spreading them. Like, I felt that it was really hard to keep a secret with him, where he spread information very easily. And I do remember the week where you called me out in voice channel for something that I said about the back door. And I remember you saying that it wasn't actually in my DMs. And I remember that this was in Nick G's DMs because I told Nick G this, and Nick G went to you. So this is something that I kind of held behind, but because of that, because of the paranoia, I feel like it would be really hard for Nick G to get those jury votes because I wasn't really sure who he was loyal to, and maybe it was just me, but it could have been others. It could have been another side of the house of people that wouldn't vote for him. The next person is Redacted. Do you know who I'm talking about? I really hope so.
I do.
But it's only because Redacted played the middle. They played it in a very obvious way. Like, I knew that they were not on my side, but they were pretending to be. They spread a lot of things around. Nick G went to me right away about it. And also, on a personal level, they just made people really uncomfortable, and I would not be happy with them winning. On top of that, I'm also going to finish by saying one more person, and I think that's going to be Lockie. I think that Lockie played a really good social game. I was actually kind of surprised to see the people that Lockie was talking to and leaking info to me about, but Lockie had a lot of sneaky moves, which resulted in very horrible jury management. And I'm not going to say that I'm surprised because it's Lockie, and I love Lockie, but just like you said, jury management is a very important factor, and I feel like he did not do that very well, as he beefed with most people.
So just to confirm, your final answer is that you think that you would lose in a final two with Nick Jr., Lonnie, Lainey, myself, Mo, and Andrew.
I'd have to think more about it if I'm really pulling names because I don't want to just say names and not have reasons. But I gave my people.
Okay. Mario?
Okay. Hey.
Hello.
Sorry. I think one of the persons that I would win against in the final two is gonna be Mo. Why? Because I think I played a very social game and I was much likable than Mo. Like, we had like the same stats, but I would like on the block so much more, and I think I could have won against. I'm sorry if I used a wrong pronoun. I'm so sorry. Let me. Wait. I'm sorry. I'm dumb. Okay.
No, it's okay.
I think I could have won against them. And one person I could have won, I think, was gonna be.
So, do you think that Mo was the only person that you could have been, or you're taking Also, not me taking 20 minutes instead of 10. It's more likely than you'd think. Okay, so do you think then, Mario, that you would lose then to Nick Jr., Lonnie, Lainey, myself, Andrew, Nick G, and Lockie? Okay, well then I'm going to say thank you both for letting me go on for 20 minutes. Thank you to the hosts for a great season, for proving to me that I'm not as good as I thought I was.
You're welcome.
And yeah, your pleasure, right? Yeah, so great work, keep it up, and good to talk to you both.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Thanks, Jared.
Well,
Oh, wait. Alright, here is our next juror. I do not think that Captain is able to get on call, but I do think that he is going to type his questions, and I will just read them for you guys.
okay.
Jacob, if you want
Hey, I'm sorry.
because your voice is dying.
My voice is dying, then yes, that's fine.
No, you said your throat hurts, so I just wanted to know if you want me to read them.
No, I just was really nauseous earlier. That was the only reason. But yeah, you can read it. I don't care.
No, that's okay. You can do it.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Well, Captain, you can begin whenever. Okay, Captain said. Okay, so that's it so far. Okay, Captain said, first, I would like to congratulate both of you on being the final two. Mario, I understand the struggle of English being your second language, so you're doing good, sweetie. Heart. Anyways,
you.
my question is... and now we wait again. Okay, say something nice and something mean about each of the jury members.
Oh. Okay. About each. Okay. Something nice about Lainey, I think. That will be. She's a pretty lovable person. I think. She made the not the best social relationship with everyone, but she did some social relationships, and I think they were very good because she's very lovable, she's very likable, she's very like so sweet and sweetheart like that. Um, and a bad thing was like that. I think she lied, like to me in my face. Well, but I also did that, so I don't think like it's a bad thing. But we all lie in this game. Okay, let me for another one. About Nick Jr. Okay, Nick Jr. was like my number one ally in this game. One of the best things that is because that we had such like a good relationship in the game. But one of the bad things is that as I thought he was my number one ally, I think he pretty much lied to me. I love you, Nick Jr., but I don't know if this is true or not. And as I saw in the Alex slides, you and Lani told him about the backdoor plan to him. So I feel right now a little betrayed by you and Lani because you were. I thought you were my two closest allies in the game. Right? I really think that to this point, but I really felt like a type of betrayal, but a tiny bit. Okay, that was like the bad point about Lani and Nick Jr. and I'm gonna talk about Lani now. Lani, I think like her personality really helped her a lot because she's also very likable and she's like I don't know, like she won Vivi anime. And that. Okay, but Andrew. I think about Andrew was like his extroversy. I don't know how to say it. As I didn't like had a little to no relationship with him in the game, I cannot say anything bad about him. And with Mo, I just really cannot say anything about it right now because we had zero talk in the game. Well, we had, but it was like, oh, please save me, or oh, you're gonna save me, right? And with Nick G, the good thing I think about you is that you pretty much wanted me saved, and I was in the block against Nathan. You actually told me that you wanted to keep me safe, and I really appreciated that a lot. But that's the thing, and the bad thing, it's like it's not a bad thing. It's just like a thing that I think didn't benefit my game that much because you were like I think close to Lainey. That's what I think, and that's all that. About Jared. Good thing about Jared, I think that was that he also wanted me to keep me safe, but I think like he would have gotten rid of me when like he used me, and so bye. I think that, but I think it's not a bad thing. It's a big brother. Like you do that to win and to go to the final league. And I have left captain. like Captain, you and I, in the first days, we talked a little bit. I had a good relationship with you, but then it was like it got cut off. And the thing that it got cut off, I think it's the bad thing about it. But it was like a bad thing about both of us, you know, not only about you. So I think that is all the jury members. Did I miss one?
I think we got them.
Hmm?
I think we got all 9. Okay.
Oh, I forgot Lucky, but is he voting?
Oh.
Or?
Loki's not here, but give one if you want.
Mm.
Oh.
Well,
Do you want to give your input on Loki?
no, I don't have anything to say about him.
Okay. So I'm gonna start. This is in random order. I just looked at the memory wall and wrote down names, so then I have everyone. For Mo, I put that Mo is very funny. I think that they were really good at just taking something more serious or something dramatic, like a fight, and like for example, the voice call argument night. They were able to take a lot of that and make it into humor, and also whenever they just like pop in the house chat, they always make me laugh. A mean thing would be that Mo is very chaotic and explosive. It's not really that negative, I guess, because chaos is fun. I love chaos, my Aries sun, but I do have to say that it was bad game wise because it just like I couldn't trust them very well. But yeah, it was very hard to take them serious at times because you just wouldn't know what they would talk about, It's just like one day one thing, one day another. Like it was just very uncontrolled and chaotic, and it was very fun, but game-wise, it wasn't a positive aspect. For Lonnie, I put that Lonnie is super, super sweet. I know that she was very understanding, and we talked a lot personal-wise, like she was very, very emotionally supportive, especially through a lot of things that happened in other orgs, or just like, in real life, like different problems that we'd rant to each other about. We'd always have each other as support. But one negative thing or one mean thing is that she can be stubborn at times. It's the Aries sun coming through. It's nothing to be ashamed of because I'm also extremely stubborn, but it's like once your point is across, it's like the only right point. You know what I mean? Like you just have to keep arguing it and just showing your case. And I think we can see this with both of us. I'm not just like pouring this on you, but I think it's both of us because you could see the night where I POV'd myself off the block. I had my little note, and then we kept just going back and forth, rebuttal. So it was kind of like a stubborn, never giving up type of energy, which is obviously not always negative, but I don't know. It was just a little bit chaotic for me. Nick Jr., I put that he's optimistic because he's always positive in the chat. I know I hate complimenting Nick Jr., but he really was positive. Like, I've never seen him say anything that was super negative, super, like, mean in an actual, like, malice way. But one thing that I would say was negative is that he was kind of a liar in a way where he was making a lot of lies that were just, like, kind of mean. Like, lying about the challenges, like, the scores that he'd get, and, like, he pretended like he didn't know about this whole backdoor, and I'm just like, girl, if you want me out, just tell me. So that's one thing I have. That's all I could prepare while Mario was talking, so the rest is going to be out on a whim, so I might be a little bit, in the loop, out of the loop. But the next one I have is Nick G. For Nick G, I also put that he's really understanding, and he's just, like, funny. Like, we would cope through humor a lot, and, like, if there was ever a time where I had to talk to him game-wise about, like, me nominating him and stuff, it was always like an understanding. Like he was like, I understand. Obviously, he would argue against it and bring up points and stuff, and I really appreciated it. But for the most part, he was like understanding of a lot of my game moves and seeing where my head was at. In terms of mean things, you made fun of me playing Flo Millie on like the first week in the bot, so your music tastes suck. So that's the mean thing that I have for you. Jared, I'm gonna say that You were very sweet. You were such a personality. Like I loved talking to you on a personal level. Like it was like I feel like out of everyone in the cast, especially when it came to mid jury, like whenever your face would pop up in my messages, I'd be like, "Yup, I love having conversations with Jared." Like it would always just go somewhere. Like we never hit a dead end, and like our conversations could just go on for hours. In terms of meanness, I would say that maybe. Ugh, I don't want to be too mean. Maybe you maybe you were just very emotional. I mean, this isn't a mean thing. It's just like game wise, I think a lot of it was very emotionally taken, where I feel like some of it could be just game. And I think that obviously it's not too bad obviously being emotional is good. I'm Cancer Moon, so I'm very emotional. But like times in the voice call where you said things out of anger or like just out of the blue, like an accusation of mine against like something that I said when it didn't actually happen, etc. So like that was kind of like an emotional response, and I guess that is like a mean thing to point out. Lainey, you are so sweet. You are like just so talkative, and you're just a ball of bright energy. I felt so bad when I had to lie about my vote. It was all game, but I couldn't help but feel really guilty after because you're just so sweet, and I just never wanted to cause you any harm. But like a mean thing to say, I guess, is that you're very gullible in a way where I feel like if I told you any information towards the game, you would believe me. And I didn't lie to you very much until, when the final vote happened. But if I feel like I could just have thrown a curveball your way and you would have just been like, yeah, let's get on it. But I don't know. Lockie, he's funny, but he's also a prick. I love him, but, sometimes he just wants to be like a cunt, and he wants to be like a little bit beefy. And I mean, I love it, but it's just like, it's kind of mean. Captain, your music tastes are spectacular, and you're so sweet, and it's really hard to say something that's mean. I don't know. This is hard now. I think a mean thing is that, I really don't know. Like, I'm stuck for words here. I think this shows my bias towards Captain. But maybe... I literally don't have anything to say. I'm gonna go back to it if I can. Andrew, very, I feel like you were very talkative and, like, really extroverted and, like, a ball of energy, like I said, for a couple other people. And I really love that. Very positive, very nice. Like, I love talking to you. But again... like Mo, you did have a lot of explosive characters in your gameplay where I feel like even after you left, you were a little bit upset with me, and I kind of wish that you vocalized it more game-wise, because I really don't know where I went wrong with you on a game level, because I did stick to vote to keep you. Obviously, I could have campaigned to keep you a little bit harder, but I don't know, it's just the explosive behavior and the emotional response that had me a little bit hesitant. But yeah, I feel like that's my answer, if I'm allowed to just not say anything mean about Captain, because I literally don't know. Your time zone sucks, so it's hard to talk to you. Does that count? That's all I got. Thank you.
Alright, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Love you,
Captain, if you have
Captain.
one last thing you want to say or anything, feel free. If not, then I'm going to remove you. Okay.
It's gonna be a little bit delayed because
I know.
YouTube streaming. Okay,
He said
love
goodbye,
you.
so we're leaving it
Love
at
you,
that.
Captain.
Okay.
Thank you, Captain.
Let me crack my knuckles.
Oh no, I'm scared.
Why?
Because I just said something mean about her. Come on. Good morning.
Good morning, Lonnie.
Lonnie.
Hi! Oh my god! Okay, where do I start? For some reason, coming here, my like instincts are to be like, I want to fight Alex now. We didn't get to before I was evicted, but
I really wanted to see the 5.
but I do have like actual like jury questions and stuff. So
Okay.
Cool.
let me go to my diary room and look at what I wrote down. Okay, so I want to first say congratulations to both of you for making final 2. I think both of you have a lot to be proud of, and like even though both your games and like your journey to getting to the end has been very different, I do think that both of you have a good case for winning the game. A good case, but like a different case for winning in the game. So I'll start with my first question. Alex, okay, so when we were having our house fights, we were like, I did my like nomination speech, and then like you wrote like your veto ceremony speech, and then like I fought you in the house chat as well and had all these counterpoints, and then you had your counterpoints to those, and like I would have replied to them, but I got too tired and was busy. But okay, so I remember like during that, like I also was like talking to you about it, being like, hey, like, is it okay to like fight you and all that? And then you also said that like part of you didn't want me to counteract your points because you wanted to save something for the finale. So with that being said, can you tell me something that I didn't know about your game?
Of course. So one thing I guess really early on was the It Crowd alliance that I mentioned in one of my slides, and that consisted of Redacted, Lainey, Jared, Nick Jr., and I. And when I was first in the game, and before the Lainey vote, even during the Lainey vote, I really was number 1 alliance with them. I really thought that I wanted to continue the game with them, especially Jared and Lainey, and I really wanted to be a part of it. And even after all those alliances leaked with me, a part of me really said that I really wanted to stick with them. So with that, I feel like it might have been a little bit hidden, because I feel like maybe if I did leak that alliance to you, I might have said that it was a joke. And I do agree that the alliance that we were in with Mo, Andrew, and Nathan was like kind of a mutual, like, not really taking it too seriously, and as you can see, it wasn't serious because it got leaked. But I didn't feel the same with that alliance. So I feel like if you didn't do that, if we didn't decide to do that move where you suggested that we get Lainey out, and we went through all that trauma to get you as the HOH and get her out, I feel like...
And I'm getting like her head of household instead? Yeah. Oh wait, no, keep going, sorry.
I just feel like that was that little information in my mind could have been hidden from you, where I really wasn't fully set on the alliance. And then on top of that, I guess another thing is that I really started to distrust the Final Four alliance that we made when it was Andrew versus Jared week. And I did hide this from Nick Jr. as well, because I was scared that y'all were working a little bit closer together than what I was thinking initially. So I did have a few side conversations with Lockie, and I was like, you know what, I don't know how much I'm trusting them. And Lockie was agreeing, and we were both kind of talking about, like, sharing notes about, like, how they're more inactive in the Alliance chat, or less inactive, or what am I saying? Less active in the Alliance chat than, than what it used to be, and that, and how the last game move was really suspicious, and that they're maybe chipping at our numbers. So we had that conversation.
Going up.
But yeah, we had that conversation. So we kind of developed like a backup plan, but at that point it was too late because you did win HOH.
Okay, actually that kind of brings me to my next point. So, so I wrote down, I think there were multiple points in your game where you could have been evicted, as you had a huge target on your back from mid-jury onwards for winning 4 comps in a row. So did you have any like plans for managing that, or like threat management, that sort of thing?
I guess that
kind of links into. So that kind of like links into how you said that like oh, you're starting to get suspicious of us? Like, what did you mean? Did you have a backup plan, or like, what was it?
Well, of course, that's a really good question. I did kind of talk about this with Nick G a little bit earlier, where I noticed that my comp game wins was making me a really big threat, and honestly, it was something that I didn't think about too much when I went for it. I didn't really have too much of a strategy other than making sure that our alliance was safe and, getting rid of my targets. So by the point that I won 4 of those comps in a row, I feel like the damage of the threat level has already been done, and it was definitely something that I couldn't undo because I knew that that was in everybody's minds at this point, and everybody was coming for me. So with that in mind, the only thing that I had planned for the rest of the org, and I guess this is the only thing that I could have came up with my mind strategy-wise, was to continue winning those comps because I already proved that I can win comps. I've already done it. I've already planned on doing it. It's not like my comp winning skills are going to go away, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just, I didn't really think too much of it when I was winning comps initially, but after I was like, you know what, this is something that I have to stay confident in and be on the same page with. So the only way to keep myself there was the only way to keep myself safe here was to win more comps, win HOH, win POV, and kind of trust my alliances, which I did until the very last second. And I guess that is another part of my flaw in my game where I didn't have that many people to trust towards the end. I didn't establish that much. But at that point, I feel like there wasn't really that much else to do because I already established that on my own, and I did already have that plan backed up where I was just, you know what, let's just win all the comps. Let's put in all the effort. As long as I put in the effort, I think it'll return back and I'll be safe. And that's exactly what happened.
Okay, thank you for your answers. Mario, my question for you was, can you compare your gameplay before and after you came back during Battle Pack?
Okay. My gameplay before the... I think... Oh, let me relax.
Yeah, take your time.
My gameplay before the Battle Pack, one thing I was in mind of was not to make an alliance, out of the blue. Because that, could have get me out so early. Or not, maybe it just didn't work. When I made the alliance of the We'll Tell You Later, because it's the best name for an alliance, with Nick Jr., you and me, actually he told me about it, to make an alliance. And before the Battle Pack, I was I really wanted to win comms, not at the start, but really, I didn't see me going that far in the game. So I wanted to win comms, to get Lainey out, and that. And before the Battle Pack, I think I started being more strategic about my plans, that what I would do if I win beta, what I do if I win HOH, and I think you saw it in the We'll Tell You Later Alliance chat, that sometimes I started saying, oh, if I win HOH, I'm gonna put Lucky and Alex up, or I'm gonna put Lucky and Captain up, then if I win beta, get Captain up and backdoor Alex,
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Alex.
It's okay, I'm not surprised.
No, literally that week I put up Alex and Lockie. I remember being in the chat and you were saying yeah, we should put up Lockie and Andrew and then rename Captain when beta was used, and then I did exactly that. But yeah, anyway, sorry, continue. I just thought that was something that I went back and looked at.
Yeah, well, and I think after the Battle Pack, I really wanted to win comms. I really wanted to keep myself safe with winning some comms and making some game moves. for like the game to change drastically, but I couldn't win anything. That was my bad. Because I really wanted to stand out. I'd just be like the one who's always back there. And I realized that when Alan told me that he was like he had more chance to get into the end. He had more chance to win comps and make social game plans better. And I was like, oh, well, sorry, I am going back and you're not. And then I realized that staying like where I was, it benefited my game since I really wasn't a target for anyone at all. And I was a pawn indeed, but I wasn't a target, so I really didn't think people would get me out. And I really, after that, I really had the boats, and like the latest part of this game, like 2 to 4 weeks ago, I really had the boats to say because I had you and Nick Jr. and Captain. So, well, I think that is all. I hope I can. Fuck, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah.
I hope I could have answered your question.
Yep, you did. Thank you. Also, before, just to clarify, I didn't leak the backdoor plan to Alex. That was his Nick. So blame him entirely for that. Yeah. I never leaked it to him. It was Nick. He did it when I was like asleep, and then I woke up and I was like, wait, like why did you do that? But yeah, I think when Captain and you asked me who leaked it, I tried to like blame Lockie for it instead because I wanted to still protect Nick. Because like I guess like he was my closest ally, and then like you and Captain, and then Lockie and Alex were as well. But then that changed when it was like clear that like getting to the end with them would not be feasible. Okay. Okay, questions I want to ask both of you. So, can you both tell me what your proudest achievement in this game was? Either of you can go first. I don't mind.
Alex, you can go first if you want.
Okay. So this is really hard. I think that one of my best moves, I think I said this before like a lot of times tonight, but it was my social connection with Lockie. And I know that it got caught, and I know that he did get out because of it, but it really saved me a couple times, especially with Lockie's POV win, and he didn't use it. And if we literally didn't talk or we didn't have that connection, then I definitely 100% would have went home that week. But I talked about this, so I think I'm going to talk about something else. I think in general, one of my favorite aspects of this was damage control and defending myself. I know that threat control is definitely something that I should have worked on more, but it was definitely the damage control on a social aspect that really had me safe and got rid of a lot of targets on me. So an example of this was the whole chaos of the voice call with Nathan, Jared, and then like other spectators. Mo is the mediator. Thank you, Mo, for coming to protect me and telling me about everything that happened. So this was like the time where our alliance, you, me, Andrew, Nathan, Mo, when our alliance got thrown under the bus by Nathan to Jared, and my name was also being speculated with Nick G's about the Nathan backdoor. So I went into this voice call, and I just feel really proud for myself for being able to be on the spot really quick, coming up with little counterpoints towards them, and just being able to defend myself in a really controlled manner instead of just, getting really emotional or, panicking and freaking out on them. So I feel like through that, it was a really big lifesaver, especially since it was just pre-jury, and like at that point in the game, anything that you can do can be enough to get you targeted. So for me, I was able to kind of denounce what they were saying, telling them that I wasn't behind the Nathan backdoor. Obviously, we were, but you know, it was my little points here and there, and also the fact that I didn't suggest the noms when I kind of did to Andrew. So both of those, I feel like, was a lot where I kind of saved my ass, and I think that that's something that I feel very accomplished about.
Thank you. I've got 2 more questions. Oh no, 3 more questions. Oh my god, do I have time for this? Okay.
Mario needs to answer. Mario hasn't answered yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Come on, Monty. Come on.
Sorry.
I know I rambled too long.
Mario, what's your proudest achievement in this game?
I think my proudest achievement was aligning with you and Nick Jr. Why? Because you really wanted to keep me safe. That I think like this whole game, and also I think like being as likable I am, as sociable I am, and being a pawn was like not say like I really did not make that much of big moves in the game, but like the achievement that I really do not regret was aligning with you guys, with you and Nick Jr.
Cool. Okay, so can both of you give me a trust ranking of everyone in jury?
I can do that. I don't know if I can give actual numbers because I don't know.
It's like a list, like from your like most trusted to least trusted. Or you can start the other way around, least trusted to most trusted.
Okay, so the people that I was very untrusting of, on a game level, because I love all these people, was Mo, Nick G, and then probably, I think those are like the bottom of the jury trust level. And I'm going to put this in like a couple tiers while I'm thinking. So it might be confusing. If you have questions, please ask me so I can clarify. But Mo and Nick G were definitely at the bottom because I knew, like, it was just very obvious that they weren't playing with me. Next on that list would probably be Jared and maybe Lainey, because they both were playing that other side of the house, at least early on. And Lainey went, so there's not much that I can build off that. It's really hard to talk about trust levels, especially since she is first juror. But Jared, still, like, I knew that Jared wasn't playing on my side. And we talked about this, like, we were very, very transparent on this. But at the same time, I just knew that Jared was not a number in my pocket. I can say the same kind of towards Captain, but Captain's a little bit above Jared, so put him next on that list. Where Captain, I told him all of my plans, but the thing is, like, we didn't really talk much game outside of just giving each other plans, you know, a little small talk here and there. It wasn't like I was making too many plans with him. Then there is Andrew. Andrew, I really, really trusted. I really felt as though me and Andrew had a really good game connection. Like, I was able to talk to him a lot about little game decisions here and there when we both were in power. So I feel like I was very transparent with that. And that leaves me to the Bad Bitches. And the Bad Bitches were the peak loyalty for me. This was my number one alliance. And it's just because we bonded so much on a personal level that I genuinely felt as though, at least until the end, or like the betrayal part, that like we had each other's back. So I felt like I could tell you everything. I feel like the amount of leaks that we had and like game info that we had just could not compare to any other alliance that I was in. And I don't know if you can see the same, but at least for me, a lot of the game info that I provided and was provided with came through with that chat. If I were to rank the loyalties in that alliance, it would be Lonnie, Nick Jr., and then Lockie, as in least to most. And I don't think that comes too much of a surprise, but those are my top 3. Boom. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's good. Mari, do you want to give yours from list 2?
Yes. Okay. I think my least jury members were Andrew, Mo, and Lainey. Why? Because I didn't connect on neither like personal level with them, neither like, in a game level. So I really didn't like trust them. Then it will be Jared, because I at some point I did trusted him, but at other point I didn't. Okay. Then it could be Captain. It will be Captain because even though we didn't speak that much, I kind of knew that he would keep me safe in some events that could have happened in the game. So that's like, well, the place. Then it will be Nick G, because even though I didn't have like that connection with him in a personal level, I think we did have a good game level connection. So, right, the place. So my top two would be from least to most, it would be Yulani and then Nick Jr. Why? Because with Nick Jr., I started talking with him like the first night. We talked like until, I don't know, maybe 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I don't know, in the night. Because I put it ITZY on my intro. And then he told me about an alliance with you because you were like very likable, and I was like, well, yeah, why not? Then we made an alliance, and I think if Alex would have been out before you two guys left, like I think you two or us three, I don't know, yeah, dominated the game. Oh, I missed Lucky. Sorry.
I was like wondering, Lucky, maybe he is just like not there.
Oh, like so. Maybe he's like at the bottom. So.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, good. Thank you. I think I'm gonna let Lainey do some questions. I might come back later. If I don't see you, because I did have some other ones in mind, but I realized I'm taking up a lot of time and I gotta go. But if I don't see you guys later. Yeah, let's good luck to both of you. I think you should both be proud of yourself for getting to final two. That's already like a huge accomplishment in itself. So yeah, I'll see you guys like later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Love you.
Alright, we will now add Miss Lainey.
Oh, I'm so scared.
Queen. Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh. You're on mute now.
How are you? This is what I want.
Amazing.
I want to see your face. Oh, I guess you're not going to show me your face.
I'm gonna show it. Don't worry.
I turned on my video, but I don't know if it's working.
Hey.
Frank also says hi.
Hi.
Hello from Frank. Oh Lord, there goes the Wi-Fi. So, I got evicted early, right? Just like you did, Mario. Also, Mario, real quick, before I even start, I want to apologize for targeting you in the beginning. Because we just didn't have a good social connection, and like you were the person I talked to the least. That was
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry. It's okay.
So I just want you to know, like, I do care about you, and I think you're wonderful. I'm gonna cry because I'm
I love
a
you.
baby. My question for y'all is, why do you deserve it? This is for both of y'all. I have individual stuff too, but this is for both of you. Why do you deserve the win?
Okay.
Either of you can go first. I don't care.
Okay. I think I can go first. Well, I think when I got into Final 3, I really thought I was gonna get evicted and I was gonna get third place. No. And when I got into Final 2, the first minutes, I really thought I didn't really deserve it because I didn't make that much of a movement in the game. But then after thinking about it, I think it's not all about big moves and pretty big things. I really think it was about my social game that I deserved to be here because even though I didn't win that much of the competitions and that kind of stuff, I really kept myself in a position where nobody wanted to bake me. So I think that's why I deserve.
Alright, well, I want to start off by saying that I think that I earned my spot here.
We cannot hear
for
you.
a lot of. Oh, do you not hear me?
I can hear you.
Uh oh. My Wi-Fi is really choppy, so it might be on my end.
I can hear you too.
Okay, wait, I don't know.
Oh, so it's my problem. Sorry.
It's okay. I think that I am very deserving of being in the finale, and I think that what sets me aside from my fellow beautiful finalists is a lot of the effort that I put in just throughout every single part of the week. I feel like I was a part of a lot of movements and a little bit of game plans through every single week, and my involvement was present regardless of or not of whether I had a comp win. So there were a bunch of plans where I just put in hours and hours of social work in terms of flipping votes. Laney Week. Laney Week was one of the biggest efforts there. And then other things like trying to get my
Let me
ass
just
off
say
the
real
bar.
quick, I was gonna say, I love the fact that y'all feel like a triumphant moment in the house was Laney Week. Like, I'm honored. Thank you for making me feel iconic. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was iconic. I feel like it was really the moment where the house broke. Like, it's like everyone was on a mutual level. Everybody was like bestie boos. You know, there wasn't really like alliances yet, or like obviously there were, but it wasn't like alliance versus alliance, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It was just whatever majority wanted, and I feel like at that point we really just started the game. We said, get rid of someone that was a really big player, and like given the information that we had with like all the little side alliances that you were hiding, like the ones with Captain, the ones with not Mario, the ones with
Sorry,
McGee, Nathan, like all these people, I was just
What?
like, I'm scared now because I didn't know. But yeah,
I'm not hearing anything what he's saying. So
if you can join the let me type in, join the YouTube stream, at least for now.
Put your tongue in your mouth.
I don't really know, but I think that like amount of social effort, because it was a lot of work to get things that way, it kind of shows that I was determined and that I deserve it. On top of that, I know that comp wins are kind of a lazy cop-out type of way of saying that I deserve it, but when you think about it, there were a lot of endurance comps, there were a lot of flash games, there were a lot of things that required hours of work, and obviously this amount of work is very voluntary, and if you don't use it and you don't like have to go through that work, it's impressive. It goes both ways. But from my perspective, I spent so much time on like the rainbow game, the unicorn game, the 2048. It was like a full day for me, and I just feel like my efforts should be recognized that way because I did spend a lot of time in that. And also I made a lot of strategic plays. I don't want to lay them all out here because my answer is going to be like half an hour long, but you can look at my PowerPoint and just, kind of make the connections. I feel like I was involved every week. I think I said this already. But yeah, I think that kind of rounds around all my answer. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, that does. For both of y'all, that's great.
Okay.
That answered my questions. I'm trying to think. I had another one. Give me a second. It'll come back to me. First of all, I want to establish something. I have never played an org before. This was my first org. So I've only ever played minis. So let me just say the fact that I had a million freaking alliances I didn't put 2 and 2 together that like long term means that people will talk more, right? So I played with the mini mindset in mind, and so I talked to everyone. I think that was my big downfall.
Mm-hmm.
So, very happy that I was able to be in the jury because even after I left, look back at the camera. Even after I left, you know, I was still super invested. Like I was constantly like, damn it, I wish I could talk in the freaking house. But I could see, you know, it was interesting being able to see some of the VLDRs. From both of y'all, from everyone, you know. I love you both, and I think both of you are awesome, and I have flopped back and forth between who I want to vote. So whoever I end up voting, just know you both deserve it. Y'all are wonderful.
Love you.
Thank you.
Farewell, Lainey.
All
I'm
right.
turning off video.
I keep my camera on. Ooh.
Not Nick Jr. I don't want to talk to him. I don't feel like it.
Oh my god, hi.
Oh my
god. I don't have any questions prepared, so yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to?
Yeah.
Okay, I did have a question, which doesn't have to do with the game, but I'm egoistical. I can't speak, and I want to know what your top 5 favorite things about me are.
Okay, so I can answer this because, you know, it just really came to my mind really quickly. Like, thinking positive about you is just so easy. Okay, so the 5th one is that you work at a smoothie store, so you can get me discounts. The 4th one is that you never have a stable headphone, so, you know, you hear me from different medias, and you're just, you know, really universal with the way that you listen to things. My 3rd is that you have good music taste for the most part, but you do listen to Taylor Swift, so there's still some room for improvement.
I'm taking away my jury vote now.
Okay, I don't care. And then my 2nd one is that you're just really good at getting people to think about you, because I always just think about how annoying you are all the time, so you're always in the front of my mind. And then my last one is that you are really bad at anagrams. But sorry. You were really good at blocking me in chess night move game things.
No, stop. Hey Mario, it's your turn.
Hey. Okay. So number 5 is that you wanted to buy me Robux, and because I voted you as one of the best parents. Okay. The second thing is that we share like some musical taste, like ITZY. That's why we got to talk.
Mm-hmm.
The third thing is that you were like sending Luna while driving in Times Square.
Oh yes, I remember that. I knew that.
Maybe like the other thing is that you're I'm sorry. You really wanted me to like be safe in this game, and you wanted me to protect. You were like my father, my adopted father in this game. And the number one thing is like that you are so positive. Like you, like as Alex said, you never posted anything like in a like bad meaning. You will like where maybe you were annoying sometimes, not for me, because for other people. But that's all I have to say. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you. Lonnie did want someone to do this, but if Alex wants to go on camera, she wanted to do like you guys close your eyes, and I would list the jurors, and then if you think you have their jury vote, you would put your finger down. So if you think you have a certain person's vote, just put your finger down. Okay. Alex, okay, I see you. Okay, so I'll go in order. Close your eyes, everybody. No peeking. Okay, the first person. Lainey. Who's next? Who was next? I don't know. I don't have a list. Oh wait, let me go to my juror house.
Oh my
Group
gosh.
chat. Okay, I'm just gonna say it random now. Okay, Captain. Mo. Nick Jr. Andrew. Jared. Lucky. Lonnie. And last but not least, Nick G. Okay, thank you for the social experiment. You guys are done.
Wait,
Do you guys have any questions for me?
what is your favorite color?
My favorite color is yellow at the
Who are
moment.
you voting for to win?
That'll be remained as a secret for now.
What is your favorite breakfast item?
Breakfast item. French toast. I really like French toast.
Do you speak any languages other than English?
Okay, thanks. Bye, Nick Jr.
I have a question for you.
Bye.
Oh,
Have
I
a
have a
good-
question for you.
Oh wait, I have to make a last comment. I love you both. I think you both played the game very well, and I'm proud of you both. I'm very close to both of you within the game and outside the game, and I'm happy I met you both, and that's it. Thank you. Have a good night.
Love you.
Bye. Good luck.
Okay, so that is all we have from the jurors. So I will let you guys do your closing statements. Mario, you'll go first since you went last
Okay.
with the opening statements.
Okay, wow. I really don't know if I'm gonna win if I stay in second place or not. For me to be here, like, just be here in the final two, or just be in part of the Life is Strange family, like the Big Brother Life is Strange. Thank you guys for casting me. As like Nick G said, that I have a probability to win. Like their split, I really didn't have any hopes at first, but I really know I do. I don't think I'm gonna win, but I wanna win. But well, thank you everyone, and don't forget about love you.
Okay. I also don't have anything prepared. I allocated all of my time and space and energy towards my intro because I think that was more important, to get all the information out so then the jury members could have, educated and appropriate questions and they don't waste any time on something that I would say in the conclusion. But I think that I really deserved and worked my way to the top here. And whoever wins, I'm happy. I think that Mario is very deserving. And I'm very happy to have been in the finale with Mario other than anyone else. I'm very happy. And I appreciate all the friendships I made, all the memories I made, and to be in this community, I'm just endlessly grateful. Again, scroll up to the top of my thing to get that info on voting. So then you have information on how to vote, the parties, polling stations near you, safe mailing, etc. And again, thank you everyone, and thank you hosts for putting the time into this. I guess that's all I have to say. Farewell.
Alright, thank you both so much, and to the jurors for the questions and whatnot. So that's all we have tonight, but tomorrow at 11 p.m. EST, we will be joined back here for the winner reveal and awards and the postseason reunion. That'll be in the server, of course. But yeah, that's it for tonight. So thank you guys so much for your time. And I will see you all tomorrow for a very exciting and thrilling winner reveal. That's all.
Thank you for an amazing season.
Yeah.
I love you all. Thank you for being the best host.